When you think of open-world games, one name always comes to mind: Grand Theft Auto. With its blend of dark humor, cinematic storytelling, and unforgettable gameplay, GTA has reigned supreme for decades. But it wasn't always alone at the top. Enter Saints Row, a series that, for a time, looked like it could be GTA's biggest rival. Today, we're going to explore why Saints Row never quite reached the same heights, despite being so closely aligned with the iconic franchise. While GTA was setting standards, a handful of other games tried to follow in its footsteps. Mafia, True Crime, and Sleeping Dogs all aimed to offer their own spin on the open-world formula. But there was one game that came closest to becoming GTA's true rival: Saints Row. But what happened? It all started in 2006 with Saints Row, developed by Volition and published by THQ. At the time, the game wasn't anything revolutionary. Set in the fictional city of Stillwater, it featured third-person action, car chases, and gang warfare, all staples of the genre made famous by Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto. But Saints Row had something that set it apart. The mechanics were familiar, but the game had a more grounded, straightforward approach compared to the bombastic nature of GTA. The setting of Stillwater, a city built with a mix of urban decay and suburban sprawl, felt similar to the likes of Liberty City or Vice City. It wasn't flashy, but it was functional. One key differentiator, though, was the deep character customization. Unlike GTA, where players controlled predefined characters, Saints Row offered unprecedented freedom. You could create your gang leader from scratch, customizing everything from clothing to body types. But that wasn't all. The tone of the game, while serious in parts, showed early signs of an approach that would later define the franchise. As the years went on, Saints Row took bold steps forward with the release of Saints Row 2 in 2008. The game expanded on everything the original did, improving gameplay, graphics, and story. But more importantly, it leaned into a much wilder and more colorful tone. It became a self-aware satire of the open-world genre, and in doing so, quickly carved out its own identity. The media and fans started drawing comparisons. Was this the game that could dethrone GTA? The rivalry between the two games became a hot topic, but it wasn't always a clear contest. Saints Row had plenty of controversies, from its over-the-top violence to outrageous humor that seemed to push boundaries just to get a reaction. But, where GTA relied on gritty realism and social commentary, Saints Row became a roller coaster of absurdity, with missions like skydiving into enemy compounds or stealing a tank for fun. The game was fun, fast, and unapologetically ridiculous, a clear divergence from the tone of its competitor. 4. The fall of Saints Row series. Then came Saints Row, the third, in 2011. This game went all in on insanity, introducing even more bizarre weapons, vehicles, and characters. It was big, loud, and, at times, more cartoonish than any previous entry in the series. But that's where things began to get tricky. For many fans, the shift towards a more over-the-top, superhero-like tone was exciting, but for others, it was a betrayal of the series' roots. They missed the more grounded approach that the first two games had, and the series began to lose its identity. A shift from gangster drama to a bizarre, larger-than-life parody of itself was polarizing. Then came Saints Row 4, where the absurdity reached new heights, involving alien invasions and superpowers. The franchise was no longer a GTA alternative, it had become something else entirely, and, unfortunately, it was too much for some fans to stomach. In 2022, Volition tried to revive the Saints Row franchise with a reboot. But the reception was less than stellar. Fans were disappointed with the new direction, which leaned too heavily on a modern, self-aware tone that didn't quite resonate with the series' core audience. The reboot sales were underwhelming, and many questioned whether the series could ever return to its former glory. But despite this, the Saints Row franchise still holds a special place in the hearts of many gamers. From its humble beginnings to its wild ride into absurdity, Saints Row will always be remembered for carving out a unique niche in the open-world genre. While it never overtook GTA, it left a lasting impact on the gaming world. Conclusion, final thoughts. In the end, Saints Row may not have dethroned GTA as the king of open-world games. But its legacy is undeniable. Whether you loved or hated the evolution of the series, it dared to be different and, for a time, was a worthy contender. As we look to the future, it remains to be seen whether the Saints Row franchise can make a comeback or if it's time to accept its place in history. One thing's for sure, it won't be forgotten. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments, do you think Saints Row could ever rival GTA? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming history.